To the Rwanda Environment Management Authority, REMA, Rwanda has 935 marshlands covering 10.6% of the country's surface area. 37 of these wetlands are found in the city of Kigali. According to Dr. Sam Kanyamibwa, the founder and executive director of Albertine Rift Conservation Society, wetlands have numerous benefits if well conserved.
Wetlands are important for water retention. They regulate our climate. They provide different services for food production. They are good. They have a very good potential for recreation, ecotourism. The wetland can filter some of the erosion and siltation if it is a very healthy wetland, so that downstream you can still have a good, relatively good water coming from these wetlands.
A recent study by the Albertine Rift Conservation Society shows that wetlands in various parts of the country are facing major threats, including human activity like agriculture, pollution, mining, infrastructure expansion, as well as invasive species. According to Dr. Kanyamibwa, the level of action or response to these threats is still wanting.
In Rwanda, the ecological integrity of our wetland is around just above 50%. And when you look at the threats affecting these wetlands and affecting the ecological integrity, the threats are above. They are around 80% affecting the wetland integrity. And when you look at now at the actions being undertaken in the catchment, in the buffer zone, for the protection of the wetlands, overall, we have about 35% of response. In fact, our message is that the wetlands we have in Rwanda are very, very important, valuable, but vulnerable. They are under threat.
The study revealed that the city of Kigali had the most degraded wetlands, with Gikondo, Nyabugogo, Nyabarongo, Rwamhara, Mulindi and Nyandungu in Kanombe being the worst affected wetland areas. The Director General of REMA, Dr. Colette Ruhamya, said that the government has already begun rehabilitation work on some of these wetlands.
Yeah, we have the budget for Nyandungu wetland, and we have started working in Nyandungu wetland. We are planning again to work in Gikondo wetland, where the previous industrial park was. Of course, the selection is obvious. The area that industries have been is more polluted and more degraded. But we'll see as the budget if the budget is enough, we can scale up in other areas. But we expect also to do some other activities that are simple, can be done by people during umuganda, and because we have developed the master plan for the Kigali wetland use, we are looking at how we can even bring up private sector to develop some of the wetlands, depending on the activities that are allowed in that particular wetlands.
According to the Vice Mayor in charge of socio-economic affairs in Kigali City, Nadine Umutoni, those who have settled in wetlands will be relocated with no compensation because wetlands are protected areas.
ingurane yo wenda tunabyumve neza amategeko avuga ko ibishanga ubundi nta n'ibya leta.
As for the compensation, I want this to be well understood. According to the law, wetlands are government property and it is illegal to settle there. So for those who have settled in wetlands, like some schools that are built on wetlands, they shall relocate, and many of them already have other sites to build on. As for members of the public or even factories that have built on the wetlands, the city of Kigali is working with the Ministry of Local Government, the Ministry of Environment and the Ministry of Infrastructure to ensure that we find other areas in line with the city master plan where they can relocate. We also have plans to build for those whom we shall relocate but are less fortunate. World Wetlands Day, marked on the 2nd of February every year, commemorates the signing of the Convention on Wetlands called the Ramsar Convention and aims to raise awareness on the protection of fragile wetlands. Rwanda signed the convention in 2003 with implementation beginning in 2006. Fatima Tessi reporting for RTV, Kigali.